Well, it was a thriller to start off the weekend. Felt like Marceau was Houdini all night, pitching out of jams. Seemed like every night, every inning, he had a leadoff hitter on, and they had runners in scoring position. And somehow he would get out of it. I don't know if it was great pitching by him. I'm sure in their eyes they were thinking that they weren't hitting in the clutch, but that's the way baseball is. You don't know if it's outstanding pitching in the clutch or outstanding or poor hitting in the clutch, but they've they had a lot of opportunities, and Marceau just kept raising himself up, and Fondo came in and got the big double play ball to get out of the inning with a really outstanding hitter up and Prater. And then he got himself in a jam there in the eighth inning and pitched out of it. And then, of course, in the ninth inning, he walked the batter and was able to strike the final batter out. So, we almost pitched, I think we almost had a 12-hit shutout, which would have been, kind of unique. But, at the end of the day, we came out like gangbusters swinging the bat in that first inning, and then got cold there for most of the game. Bianco gave us a big lift with that second run, that clutch 2-out double to score Beloso from first base, and obviously it was a big run. It ended up being the game-winning run for us. But exciting game. Got one in the win column, and now turn the page for tomorrow.
Hey, Coach, this is Glenn West here. How critical was that, fourth inning play for Mitchell Sanford? I mean, it really seemed to be kind of a game turner there for you guys, facing a bases loaded situation. You get out of that with no runs coming across. How big of a play was that for you guys tonight?
Well, that was a huge play, as was the ball that Alex Milazzo blocked in the dirt and threw the runner out going for third base. He would have been at third base with less than 2 outs, where he could have scored on a fly ball or infield ground ball or whatever. So we made a couple big defensive plays that kept them scoreless. Mitchell made a tremendous throw there. He's had a couple of plays in the outfield where he's caught the ball and had trouble getting the ball out of his glove in earlier games. And the other day when it happened the second time, I kind of gave him a hard time about it. I said, Mitchell, it's just not that hard of a play to catch the ball and transfer it into your hand without hesitation and throw the ball. And, as soon as I saw the short fly ball, the first thing I thought of was the last 2 times he's had that play, how much trouble he had getting the ball out of his glove and allowed the runners to score or advance. And this time he had a smooth transfer and threw a strike, and Milazzo put the tag on him. It was an enormous play, and it just felt so great to hear the crowd erupt like they did. And all night the crowd was just electric. I'm telling you, it just felt like old times here in the box. It was so much fun to hear the crowd be so into the game. Every time Marceau got a big out or we made a big play, and when Bianco hit that double to score the runner, it just brought back so many memories of big plays and big moments throughout the years. The crowd reacting to it. It was really a lot of fun tonight.
Coach David from Rivals, can you just expand a little bit on Marceau? I mean, it seemed like he was pitching well. It just Alabama was able to just get hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, a lot of them were just dinky hits, Dave. They hit Prater got into one over the center fielder's head early, and then of course, the shortstop, his name is Jarvis, hit the ball in the gap there. We're playing no doubles there with 2 outs, and he just hit a ball in the perfect spot to split the outfielders to be able to get the triple. But I think every other hit they got was a single, and they just, I'm not criticizing them, but they just kept hitting them where just finding open areas. They weren't crushing the balls; they were just kind of looping them in there and finding openings. And it was a little frustrating because Marceau was making good pitches. He was throwing strikes, and they just were putting the bat on the ball. They're a good hitting team, and it just would put the runners on base. But fortunately, they were just getting a base at a time. And like I said, when they did get runners in scoring position, he was really bearing down and making some big pitches. He got some big strikeouts at some critical times during the game.
Probably, obviously, Mitchell in right field. What went into that decision to start him in this game?
Wilson, I just, as the head coach, I reserve the right to play whoever I want to play, and I just, I thought, the other day Mitchell got a big hit for us up, 2-run single up the middle, gave us the lead against Louisiana Tech. And I just thought that was the way to go tonight. We some days it'll be other guys and some days it'll be, this lineup. So that was the lineup I chose to go with tonight. And, Mitchell made a big play for us. And when we put Giovanni in there, he made a great running catch for us in left center field there in the 9th inning that I thought was very critical as well. So, everybody on our team contributes, and, it's hard to explain every, personnel decision that we make, but, we discuss them as a staff and, go with the lineup that we think has the best chance to give us a victory that particular night or during the course of the game. The moves that we make, give us the best chance to win on that at that moment. Anybody else? All right. Thank you all.
We can get started with questions for Landon.
Hey, Landon. So obviously, this wasn't kind of your traditional conventional win. I mean, they were getting hits on you left and right, but you just kept making big pitches when it mattered most. I mean, just how different of an outing was this for you? And how did you kind of get through it? Because you came in with some pretty clutch moments.
Well, I mean, you look back at that performance and you see 11 hits, I believe, and not a whole lot of strikeouts, which, like you said, is not usually what you see, And but if you evaluate that outing and you go back and look, you'll see probably 8 of those 11 hits are, if they're wood bats, there would have been a broken bat and hit me in the forehead, So a lot of jam shots that they were just strong guys, and a lot of bloopers over our shortstop and second baseman's head, kind of in that Bermuda Triangle of right field, and and like you said, I was able to gut it out. It was, it was tough, So, but that's what it's about, and I think tonight was a total team effort. Great throw from Mitch out there, and then Gio ran down a ball there, and I think the 8th and 9th inning, and big clutch plays. Alex throw that guy out at third base, So it was a total team effort today, and I'm proud of our guys, and we got the job done today. We need to come out tomorrow and further with the same attitude and try and win another game.
Yeah, Landon, once you were out of the game and Alabama had another chance there to score in the 8th, you're sitting there in the dugout. What's just kind of going through your mind? You no longer have control over it. You just have to kind of sit there and watch as things unfold. And then Devin gets that big strikeout.
Yeah, well, I mean, Devin's been has done what what Devin can do. So he came in and he pitched out of it. I think just sitting there, like he said, it's out of my control. So sitting there just kind of rooting him on and being a good teammate. And well, the other thing you do when you sit there and just kind of see how things are going. But Devin's a great guy, great pitcher. And he got the job done tonight.
Hey, Landon. Did it feel kind of like the Alex box of old? I mean, it got pretty loud there for most of the game, but it just from the players' perspective down there in the dugout, how did you guys react to the crowd up there tonight?
Yeah, I mean, at least I did. I couldn't ask the other guys, but I kind of fed off of that, and you get a guy second and third there in the second inning, and then a couple more times there while I'm in there, feeding off of that. And Alex Box really felt like Alex Box again. I'm not sure what the attendance was, but if I had to guess, it probably 10 or 11,000 in there. But that's what it felt like. So it was a great atmosphere, great energy throughout the stadium, great energy from the guys in the dugout, and it felt like Alex Box again.
All those people obviously gave you that big standing ovation as you were coming off. And maybe this isn't something that you've thought about much at all, but if this was maybe the last time that you were pitching here, because there's obviously everything's going to come up with the draft this summer, what did it feel like to get that kind of reception as you left the field?
Well, it was awesome, and I don't know what the draft is going to hold. I don't know if I'll be staying or leaving. Everything is unknown, and we don't even know if this will be the last. If this will be my last start in the box, we don't know. But it was awesome, to hear that crowd and they're cheering for you as you come off of the field. That's awesome. That's a moment I'll always cherish for sure.
Any more questions for Landon? Thank y'all. All right, y'all can start with questions for Devin.
Devin, y'all had talked, some of your teammates had talked earlier in the week about, just how important it was to just rack up wins to finish this thing out. I mean, you're pounding your chest there at the end like you have recently. How important did this one feel to start off the series with a win?
Good. I mean, everyone knows we got to get this series, possibly even sweep them, but we just gotta take it one game at a time and keep playing our butts off and making things happen when we can and making big pitches, hitting it in the clutch, and then we'll be good.
Hey, Devin, I mean, you're obviously a guy that feeds off of energy, and I think it's fair to say that there was probably no bigger energy in Alex Box than tonight, for this season at least. I mean, just how did you feed off the crowd tonight? I know that was something that Landon said he definitely did throughout most of his outing.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I've been in that situation before, and I knew what it took to get the outs, and I just needed to do it. Made a couple bad pitches here and there, but we got the win, and the crowd was definitely electric, and it helped a lot.
Devin, what did you do to kind of lock back in after that triple and the hit batter?
Just tell myself a couple things that I need to focus on as far as mechanics go, and just staying through Milazzo and just getting it done. Like I said, I've been in the situation before. I know that I got to believe in myself in order to get it done, and that's just what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, the defense made some pretty critical plays throughout tonight's game as well. I mean, that throw from Mitchell home certainly comes to mind. The pickoff from Milazzo over at third. I mean, just how do you think your defense kind of helped you guys pull out the close?
We got a team, man. We can play with anybody, and we just need to keep playing this one at a time, taking care of business. And if we get to a postseason goal, we can play with anybody, man. We'll be right where we need to be. We just got to keep taking care of business.
Anything else for Devin? Thank y'all.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Y'all can start with questions for Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch, Coach Mainieri was talking about how in past games you've had trouble transferring the ball out of your glove, making a throw. And he said he kind of thought about that tonight when the ball was going to you, but then obviously you had no problem. Just talk about the play, throwing the play when you threw the guy out the plate.
Yeah, I guess a couple games ago, on the kind of the same predicament, fly ball, I was playing center, and it was kind of the ball bobbled out of my glove. Didn't get it as quick as I wanted to, but I guess it just worked tonight. I mean, on those kind of plays, you just want to catch the ball going on the run, get as much momentum going to home plate as you can, and I got it out quick enough and made an accurate throw.
Yeah, Mitchell. I mean, just talk about Landon's performance tonight. Obviously, he was kind of getting roughed up a little bit in terms of just hits, but he just kept coming back and making the big pitches when he needed to. I mean, just for you guys, just out in the field. I mean, just how important was it to kind of pick him up in some of those moments and watch him kind of deal there and close out those innings.
Yeah, he was dealing for sure. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, they had a good bit of hits and just no runs. I mean, it felt like they kept getting guys on base, and then Landon, he's such a clutch pitcher. He makes big pitches when he needs to, and he just kept putting zeros on the board. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to just him. As a defense, we love to help him as much as possible with like double plays and stuff like that, because we know he's gonna pitch as long as he can. And I think the amount of hits was definitely a false output on what he was performing like. He kept coming clutch at the end of the inning.
Obviously, everyone knows how kind of big this weekend is for you guys, just to kind of get back into the thick of things in the SEC and in the NCAA tournament as well. I mean, just to kick off, this weekend with a big time win tonight. I mean, just how much confidence does that give you guys moving forward the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, it was huge. We needed that win big tonight, and we knew coming in this weekend that we have a chance to win every one of these games, and we need to. I mean, we really need to. And close game like this, we've had a couple games like this at the beginning of the year. We were right there, and then kind of let it slip away at the end. But we're really finding our rhythm, and to get these kind of wins, it's really big. We'll be ready to go again tomorrow.
Any more questions for Mitch? Thank y'all.